My stepdaughter told me I had no say in her life because I wasn't her real father, so I showed her exactly what her real father's wallet looked like by pulling every dollar I'd invested in her future. For 6 years, I funded everything. I paid $47,000 for her college tuition so she could graduate debt-free while her friends drowned in loan. I bought her a Honda Civic for her 18th birthday because Nicole said she needed reliable transportation. I spent every Sunday for 4 months building a photography studio in my garage because Madison said she wanted to be an influencer. All I got in return was eye rolls and "you're not my actual dad" every time I asked her to unload the dishwasher. I married Nicole when Madison was 13 and her sister Chloe was 10. Their biological father Trevor lived 3 states away and sent $400 a month in child support. I owned a commercial HVAC business and saw these girls as my chance to be the father I always wanted to be. Madison was beautiful, charismatic, and knew exactly how to manipulate people. She'd tell her friends I was Nicole's sugar daddy because I was 8 years older. Once, she introduced me to her boyfriend's parents as my mom's husband, and when I corrected her with "I'm her stepdad," she laughed and said, "Same difference." Nicole always defended her, said Madison was just protective of her father's memory, even though Trevor was alive and simply chose fishing trips over his daughter. The breaking point came 3 months before her wedding. I'd already spent $8,000 on venue deposits, $3,500 on her dress, and committed to covering the whole wedding because Trevor told her he could only contribute $2,000. We were at the venue doing a final walkthrough. The wedding planner asked if I wanted to say anything during the father-daughter dance. Madison's face went ice cold. She turned to me in front of everyone and said, "You won't be doing the father-daughter dance. That's for my real dad. You're just the guy who's paying for everything." Nicole whispered that I was being too sensitive. Madison laughed and said, "Trevor gets the dance. He gets the walk down the aisle. He gets the father of the bride speech. This guy gets the bill." Carson's mother looked horrified. Chloe stared at her shoes. I drove home in silence. That night, I opened my laptop and started pulling files. Monday morning, I called the venue, canceled everything. The deposit was in my name, my credit card. They offered to refund 60%, but I told them to keep it. Day 3, I called the dress boutique. I told them I was no longer responsible for the account. They said Madison would need to pay the remaining $2,100 before they'd release the dress. Week 1, I moved the $18,000 I'd been saving in a separate account marked Madison Wedding Fund into my business account. Nicole saw the bank alert and called me screaming. I told her to tell Madison's real dad to step up. Week 2, I canceled the photographer, the florist, and the caterer. Every contract had my name, my card, my signature. Madison called me sobbing, saying I was ruining the most important day of her life. I reminded her that her real dad should be handling it. By week 3, the invitations hadn't been sent because I'd been covering the $900 printing costs. The print shop started calling her directly. Week 4, Nicole came to me desperate. She said Trevor couldn't afford to cover anything beyond his $2,000 offer, that Madison was humiliated. I opened my filing cabinet and pulled out a folder with every receipt, every transaction, every expense for the past 6 years. $47,000 in college tuition payments, $16,000 for the Honda Civic, $8,500 for car insurance and maintenance, $12,000 for spring breaks, sorority dues, and textbooks, $6,000 building her photography studio she used twice, $11,500 on wedding expenses before I canceled, $101,000 total. I showed Nicole the credit card statements. I showed her the text thread where Madison called me the wallet to her sorority sisters. I showed her Madison's Instagram from her bachelorette party in Nashville that I'd paid for. Captioned, "Thanks Trevor for the best dad gene. I'd paid for Nashville." Trevor hadn't sent her a birthday card in 3 years. Nicole's hands shook. She tried to say Madison didn't mean it that way, that she was young and didn't understand. "She's 23 years old," I said. "She understands exactly what she's doing. She wanted a father for photos and a wallet for everything else. I'm done being both." I told Nicole I was removing myself from Madison's life entirely. No more money, no advice, no family dinners if Madison was there. Chloe was welcome because she'd never treated me like an ATM. Nicole stared at the $101,000 in receipts spread across our kitchen table. She asked what she was supposed to tell Madison. "Tell her," I said, "that her real father is welcome to write the checks from now on."